Attention, Rams fans. An idol from Super Bowl LVI may be gearing up to wear a new jersey, and it won't be blue and gold. Meanwhile, behind the scenes of the draft, a bold move was overlooked, and it could cost dearly. The next big star of the league almost fell into Sean McVay's lap, but an NFC rival snatched him away without mercy. The question lingering in the air: did the Rams play it too safe when they should have gone all in? Welcome. Show your support for the Rams by reaching 100 likes on today's video. Odell Beckham Jr. seems determined to continue his NFL career, but one thing is almost certain. The Los Angeles Rams are not among his possible destinations. The wide receiver, Super Bowl LVI champion, and a key piece in that magical run is exploring new paths while the Los Angeles front office remains steadfast in its roster overhaul. The question now is not if Beckham will play, but where, and the options are being carefully considered. According to a recent report by Cody Benjamin from CBS Sports, 3 franchises appear as potential destinations for OBJ: the New York Giants, New York Jets, and Pittsburgh Steelers. Interestingly, among all of them, only one emerges as a real contender to put him on the field competitively and strategically: the Steelers. Let's get straight to the point. Beckham's return to the Giants, where he began his career and became a global phenomenon, is viewed with more romance than realism. There are talks of a symbolic retirement in New York, but nothing indicates sports plans. With a pressured coach like Brian Daboll and an unstable offensive situation, coupled with the presence of a developing rookie like Jackson Dart, bringing in a charismatic and temperamental veteran like Beckham Jr. would be implausible. The risk of distraction outweighs any technical gain. On the green side of New Jersey, the Jets indeed have a depth issue at the position. With Garrett Wilson carrying the load and options like Josh Reynolds and Allen Lazard underwhelming, the idea of a reliable veteran is tempting. But here, the age factor weighs heavily. The new head coach, Aaron Glenn, is promoting a youth-based rebuild and has already let go of names like Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams. Bringing OBJ would be a direct contradiction to the team's new philosophy. And then we arrive at the most likely destination: Pittsburgh. The Steelers are rebuilding their offense with Aaron Rodgers as QB and already have DK Metcalf as the primary target. But after trading George Pickens to the Cowboys, there's a clear need for a third experienced receiver who can handle complex routes, improvisational plays, and is willing to accept a secondary role. Beckham fits that profile perfectly. More importantly, the history with Rodgers. The two almost worked together in 2021 when the Packers tried to sign OBJ. Then there was mutual interest with the Jets. Now, with Rodgers in Pittsburgh and the franchise needing depth on offense, the timing has never been better. The Steelers offer structure, ambition, and a role that could prolong Beckham's career without demanding 80 receptions per season. It's an almost natural match, if OBJ accepts that he is no longer the main star, but rather a high-impact complementary piece. As for the Rams, the decision not to make room for Beckham is consistent. The all-in era has passed. With Matthew Stafford in the final chapters of his career and a new crop of talent developing, keeping OBJ would be more nostalgia than strategy. But still, seeing a Super Bowl hero reinforcing an AFC team, playing with one of the greatest QBs of the modern era, can provoke a certain discomfort in the Los Angeles fan, especially if he decides to shine right in January. And if the Rams are leaving the past behind with OBJ, the future also brings its frustrations. During the draft, a golden opportunity passed before Les Snead's eyes, and the GM decided to keep his chips close. The problem? Those who took the gamble reaped the rewards. The name may not yet be a household name among casual fans, but insiders are already treating Emeka Egbuka as the new gem of the NFC. And the most painful part? He almost wore the Rams uniform. Let's understand why this could be one of the biggest non-moves of the year. Emeka Egbuka's name may not have appeared among the top 5 picks of the 2025 draft, but he is already generating buzz as a future star in the NFL. Drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Ohio State wide receiver has caught the eye of Baker Mayfield and the coaching staff in the early practices, and his impact promises to be immediate. What stands out? The Rams were closely monitoring the player and, according to various sources, even considered a trade to move up in the draft to select him, but they backed off. The decision may have been wise from a strategic standpoint, especially with Matthew Stafford increasingly close to retirement. Les Snead knows that he will soon need to use draft capital to secure the successor for the most important position in the sport. But even with that argument, it's impossible to ignore what Egbuka is already demonstrating. Jenna Lane from ESPN highlighted that the receiver not only dominated the short game with explosiveness and defense reading, but is also standing out as a vertical playmaker. In other words, he stretches the field and breaks defenses with RAC, run after catch. According to Mayfield himself, Egbuka is plug-and-play at any receiver position and already understands the system like a veteran. The irony? The Tampa offense has clear roots in Sean McVay, with offensive coordinator Liam Cohen being a direct disciple of the Rams head coach. In simple terms, Egbuka is thriving in the exact type of system that McVay runs in Los Angeles. The Rams' intention was clear. The team made calls to try to move up in the draft both for Egbuka and for Tetairoa McMillan. The reading was evident. The receiving corps needed a legitimate WR3 to play alongside Puka Nacua and Davante Adams. But instead of moving, Snead chose to preserve future picks, keeping an eye on a potential trade-up for QB in 2026. Tampa did not hold back. With Chris Godwin dealing with ankle surgery, the Bucs saw in Egbuka a golden opportunity, and they are already reaping the benefits. The problem for the Rams is that if the wide receiver explodes, it will be impossible not to remember. They were there, had his name on the radar, and hesitated. The decision to keep draft capital is justifiable, but it carries a risk. What if Stafford only plays one more season? What if the next QB doesn't have a ready arsenal to produce? The opportunity to add Egbuka to the equation with Nacua and Adams was rare, a trio that could rival any offense in the league. And now, it will only be remembered as what could have been. The NFL's history is full of such cases. Teams that played it too safe and watched another shine with the jewel they let slip away. Egbuka could be the next big name to haunt the memory of Rams fans in the coming years. The Los Angeles Rams are going through a transitional moment. Difficult decisions are being made, some out of conviction, others out of caution. The definitive departure of Odell Beckham Jr. and the hesitation to move up in the draft for Emeka Egbuka illustrate this new, more calculated profile of Les Snead and Sean McVay. But in a league as competitive as the NFL, playing it safe isn't always enough, especially when rivals are willing to risk it all for immediate impact talents. Now it's up to you, Rams fans. Do you think the Rams erred by not moving up for Egbuka? Or was it right to maintain focus on Stafford's succession? Comment down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more analysis of the Rams behind the scenes and decisions this season. Until the next video.